This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
We begin with breaking news at 10 o'clock. 5 on your side is live on the scene of a deadly house fire in Soulard in South St. Louis. The fire sparked just before 9 at an apartment on South 9th Street. We're told a man was found dead in the kitchen where the fire started. It was quickly put out and no other injuries have been reported. Fire investigators and St. Louis Police, Regional Bomb and Arson are now investigating. We're also following breaking news in Ferguson tonight. Police are investigating a reported double shooting. The call came out around 8:30 tonight at Sharondale Circle near Ferguson Avenue and West Florissant. Police were spotted investigating a car outside an apartment building. No word on injuries at this time. Stay with 5 on your side for updates on both of these stories. You can find them on air at KSTK.com and on the 5 on your side app. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Holden Kerwicki. Brett Solomon is off tonight. We are in weather alert as temperatures are dropping outside. Overnight, most of the bi-state will be under a freeze warning or a frost advisory. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is tracking the cold. He joins us now with your weather first forecast. Jim?
Yeah, that's right, Holden. So these temperatures are just unbelievable. So you can feel it as you're walking out at dinner time. We were talking about that too, how cold it is. So even at the farmers market in Kirkwood, they're covering things up and the wind is still up a little bit. So those temperatures are well above the freezing mark and they're getting close to the 30s though. We're in the low 40s in most areas. Early tomorrow morning, and we're talking 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is when temperatures drop down into the upper 20s and low 30s outside of St. Louis. So west of St. Louis, we have a freeze warning. And of course, right around the St. Louis area eastward, it is a frost advisory, but it is widespread. So widespread frost expected. And then look at this, early Monday morning, there's a freeze watch north and east, north and also west of St. Louis. So we're going to do this again tomorrow night as temperatures drop below freezing in some areas. I'll have a little bit more on this coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Jim. Hopefully you took time to bring in your plants or try and cover them up today. Tonight's cold temperatures could cause big problems for area gardeners. We stopped by Kirkwood's Farmers Market this afternoon. Employees with the summit were busy taking plants down and storing them inside. They say tender plants like tomatoes, peppers, and annuals are at high risk when the temperature drops below 45 degrees.
They need to be heavily protected tonight by either some soft blankets. If they're not planted yet, toss them in your garage and just cover them. And then again, tomorrow night, it's going to be 2 nights of heavy protection.
Clark says your shrubs and perennials should be able to withstand the cold weather. And you can get the weather first forecast anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you a link. Today's cold weather did not stop people from supporting one plant in University City. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings takes us to the first 420 festival in the Del Mar Loop.
We sell t-shirts and custom apparel, but at the same time, we bring in the artists.
At the crossroads of art and innovation.
U City is really good of being a culture that is inclusive of all different types.
Saturday, Shantae Red and her shop, Red Lion Customs in the Del Mar Loop, were at the center of University City's first Loop 420 Fest. While Red Lion Customs doesn't sell cannabis,
we understand the culture, we have researched it, and we get to know it enough to where we can make apparel that will go to that target market.
About 100 vendors were lined up outside Red's storefront, and majority of them were just connected to the culture.
It's a positive take on the 420 culture, which has always been in a negative light.
Last year, Missouri dispensaries saw a 233% increase in marijuana products sold on 420 compared to the week prior. That's according to the cannabis retail software Cova. With the plant now legal in Missouri, businesses are bracing for an even larger sales volume this year.
The folks who put on this inaugural 420 festival here in the Loop say the energy you see, the traction surrounding the cannabis industry is not just a reflection of what's to come in the city of St. Louis, but Missouri overall.
People are embracing it and learning more about cannabis and how it can help them and how it can help what they're doing and how cannabis really can be a part of their lives.
It's going to help businesses like myself, small businesses, come and bring in more employees.
These industry partners say there's positivity in the plant.
I think if we keep going, it's going to make this city a lot of money.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
Earlier this month, voters in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County approved a new 3% tax on recreational marijuana sales. People we spoke to at the festival say they will continue to support the industry despite the increase. Meanwhile, dozens of St. Louis area police departments took part in the DEA National Drug Takeback Day. Several people came out to the Kismet Pharmacy in U City to safely dispose of unwanted medication, no questions asked. The DEA says leftover medications can become a gateway to prescription drug abuse. Right now, St. Louis police are looking for the suspect who shot and killed a man overnight. It happened just after midnight at Claxton and Lillian Avenue in the Mark Twain neighborhood. Officers found a man shot in the head inside of his car. He died at the scene. Police have not identified the victim. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Today, the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office hosted a job fair. They were looking to hire several positions, including clerks, secretaries, investigators, and more. Interested candidates came out to the Carnahan Courthouse in downtown St. Louis this morning. Today's job fair comes after a series of resignations within the Circuit Attorney's Office. Right now, there are only 2 assistant prosecutors splitting 470 felony court cases. 2 months ago, those cases were shared among 6 prosecutors. The exits started trickling in after Missouri Attorney General actually filed a lawsuit to remove Kim Gardner from office. Andrew Bailey insists she has repeatedly failed to do her job. During a court hearing Tuesday, Gardner's lawyers denied any wrongdoing. A trial has been set for late September. Now to the new reaction to the Supreme Court's ruling to allow an abortion pill to remain widely available. It's a striking victory for abortion rights advocates. The drug mifepristone has been on the market for more than 20 years. The ruling means it will remain available without restrictions in states where abortion is legal. While their votes were not disclosed, Justices Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito made their dissent public.
He said that he did not think that these patients would be harmed for now if the restrictions were left in place because the appeals process is going to continue.
The case now goes back to the Fifth Circuit Federal Appeals Court. A 3-judge panel is set to hold a hearing on May 17th and then to issue a decision sometime after. It's a push to get more women in the fire service. A week-long camp is allowing them the chance to experience battling a fire. About 30 women are attending the 3-day Fire Up St. Louis camp in Florissant. They're attending classroom sessions and getting hands-on experience. Ultimately, they will get a chance to run a house fire simulation, and organizers tell 5 on Your Side they hope to change the narrative in their field.
I actually can't tell you the number of times we'll get pulled over at a grocery store or at a school and they'll be like, "Are you a girl firefighter?" And the little kids have no idea that's even an option for them.
It's even more meaningful to me that they can take this into their personal lives and they're like, oh, if I could do that, then I can accomplish this.
Camp continues tomorrow and is for women aged 18 to 40. Organizers hope to make this camp annual. Holy matrimony. Simone Biles revealing today she's now a married woman. We're getting a glimpse at her wedding photos. Hyundai owners left at a dead end with no insurance coverage until now.
It's our continued commitment to those drivers to make sure that they can be on the road as affordable as possible.
Tonight, the I-Team looks into the cost.
Freeze advisories west of the metro overnight into Sunday morning. Frost advisories for the metro eastward. I'll tell you how low the temperatures will go. Tonight, Simone Biles is a married woman. Today, the Olympic gold medalist revealed on social media that she married longtime boyfriend, Houston Texans safety Jonathan Owens. Owens, you may recall, is a St. Louis native and went to high school at CBC. The couple started dating in March of 2020 and got engaged in February of last year. Biles shared the photos on her Instagram page and changed her name to Simone Biles Owens. The Blue season may be over, but Enterprise Center was packed today. The annual Paint the Ice event returned today, bringing season ticket holders and Kids Club members to the rink. At the end of every season, the Blues allow fans to go onto the ice and turn it into a gigantic piece of artwork. It's the team's way of saying thank you to their fans. Freeze warnings to the west of the metro, then the metro eastward through our Illinois counties, a frost advisory 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. A little bit more on this and that cold that will continue into tomorrow night coming up.
Right now, more than a dozen states, including Illinois, are demanding a federal recall of Hyundai and Kia vehicles because of a lack of anti-theft features. This week, 18 attorneys general sent a letter to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They claim the surge in thefts of these vehicles are monopolizing police resources, and new anti-theft software from both automakers may not be available for all models. Tonight, there is some good news if you're a Hyundai owner. At least one insurance company is sticking by you. Our I-team wanted to know how much one agency's plan would cost after they promised not to deny Hyundai drivers. Christine Byers shows us which company owners can turn to and whether there's a catch.
As big-name insurance companies like Progressive leave Hyundai and Kia owners like LaToya Jones without coverage,
a lot of insurance companies are saying that they don't want to insure Kias anymore because of the theft of them.
One company is still willing to take them on.
It's our continued commitment to those drivers to make sure that they can be on the road as affordable as possible and make sure that they have the coverage needed.
AAA announced earlier this month it will still cover Hyundai vehicles, which have been at the center of skyrocketing auto thefts. For about 2 years now, thieves have been sharing how easy it is to steal some Hyundais and Kias on social media because they lack anti-theft technology. That's led to soaring insurance premiums or flat-out denials.
A friend of mine, she paid her premium up and now it's ending, and her insurance company don't want to insure the car no more.
AAA says it will still cover those drivers.
For existing, Hyundai customers that are with AAA, nothing's going to change.
For those looking for new coverage,
it would be the same process as if you were getting any other vehicle insured.
So you're still going to continue to cover Hyundais?
Correct.
And you're still going to continue to cover Kias?
Correct.
So how can a company like AAA take on such high-risk vehicles? The I-team wanted to know how much these policies would cost. So we contacted insurance expert Cherie Martinez of Houston Auto Appraisers. She says it's likely those customers will still pay a lot for coverage.
You see how many are going to be leaving and losing out on insurance from other people. They're going to gain that business, so they're going to be able to pay that out.
Martinez says one of her employees drives a Hyundai Elantra. They saw their insurance plan jump from $186 to $380 a month. When she applied for AAA's coverage, the online quote soared to $525.
Is this good news for Hyundai owners?
I think that it's good as far as they will have some type of security when it comes to an insurance that is a decent, really good insurance. But again, watch out for those high rates. Shop around.
Hyundai is offering a security software upgrade, which AAA requires for coverage. The automaker cautions there are still some vehicles that are not eligible for the upgrade. And for those vehicles, the company is now reimbursing owners who buy steering wheel locks. We've included links on where to find a dealership near you that can install the software upgrades, as well as AAA's online quote portal on KSDK.com.
Today, St. Louisans braved the cold to celebrate Earth Day in Forest Park. Dozens gathered at the St. Louis Earth Day Festival at the Muni grounds. Families got to enjoy food, live entertainment, and learn more about sustainability efforts from local businesses. The festival continues tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. And Jim, we've been talking about it all evening long. It is chilly out there. It was just a few days ago, it was 80 degrees, but it's going to be a while before we see anything near that on the mercury levels.
Yes.
What are we looking at out there, man?
I don't see it at all. The 80s or even really 70s in the 10-day. I'll show you that coming up. But cover up that tender vegetation, especially the less hardy plants. Bring them inside if possible. There's a live look at Kirkwood, and the experts out there are leaving some plants uncovered because they know which ones can actually handle the low and mid 30s around the St. Louis area, even colder outside of the city. 44 right now, feels like 38. This is at Lambert, and so the wind has been up a little bit. West-northwest wind at 12, still some gusts to near 20 miles an hour, but when that wind relaxes, 1 a.m. to 9 a.m., those low 30s and even upper 20s outside, outside of St. Louis are likely, and 35 in St. Louis. Still some formation of frost is likely. And then as we look at the frost advisories, they extend all the way from the metro eastward into the Illinois counties. And then our freeze warnings really from Pike County, Missouri, Lincoln County, Warren, Franklin, Washington County, Missouri to Madison County and westward. Most of Missouri is under that freeze warning. So early morning on Monday, same thing, 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. A freeze watch has been posted, and we're talking the similar numbers, maybe a little bit colder in some spots, maybe a little bit warmer in others, but still low 20s, are actually upper 20s and low 30s outside of St. Louis, and really mid 30s, maybe some lower 30s closer to the city. But 49 was that high today. Boy, on Earth Day, a cold one for sure. 41 for that overnight low, and both below average. So this is the reason for the cold. We had this huge low pressure right here in southern Canada and the Great Lakes. This is the upper level wind, and you can just see this thing spiraling around. So then you get to the surface, and we have this low pressure right there north of Chicago, and it's still bringing in that northwest and westerly wind throughout the area. So the futurecast showing those clouds that stay with us all day, breaking up tonight, and the wind dying down. That's when we see the coldest weather. And then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, those clouds filter back in. They kind of fill back in, and then we'll see likely some sunshine mixing in, more than what we had today. So weather alert days for tomorrow morning and also Monday morning. Highs tomorrow 56, 64 on Monday. And throughout this week, holding spot showers until we get to Friday and Saturday, a better chance of rain. But look at that. No 70s until we get to maybe next Tuesday.
But it looks like we're at that time of year where you really have to dress for all seasons.
Right.
You know, it's warm for part of the day, it's cold for part of the day, hot to cold.
Yes.
But I do have to say something about this guy. You're going to put on some shoes. It's so cold out there. All right, thanks, Jim. Coming up in sports, reinforcements are on the way for the Cardinals. Find out which familiar face will soon be rejoining the team on their West Coast swing.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
Just yesterday, former Cardinals broadcaster Dan McLaughlin said fans should use the team's 10-game road trip out west as a barometer for the rest of the season. After dropping Game 1 of the series last night, the Cards look to build some momentum against the Mariners. To Seattle we go, where the Birds got off to a fast start in their powder blues. Noah Arenado with a shot to right. That's going to play to run, and the Cards get on the board first. But you know, it seems like this has been the story all year long. They wouldn't keep the lead for long. In the bottom of the second inning, Jared Kelenick's going to get a hold of this Miles Michaelis offering and deposit it in the left field bullpen. The Redbirds would retake the lead in the very next inning thanks to the new guy behind the plate. Wilson Contreras, he's going to hit one to right. It's going to go off the fielder's glove. Alec Burleson is going to come all the way around to score. This one is tied right now, 3-3 in the sixth. The Cardinals will soon welcome back a familiar face to the clubhouse. Katie Woo is reporting that shortstop Paul DeJong is with the team in Seattle and will officially be activated from the disabled list tomorrow. In 12 games in the minors, DeJong is hitting .302 with 2 home runs, 16 RBI, and an .899 OPS. The team is yet to announce who will be sent down to clear the roster space.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
Coming off last week's 5-1 dismantling of Cincinnati and sitting atop the MLS standings, it seemed just about everything has gone right for City SC to start the season. But heading into tonight's game against Colorado, head coach Bradley Carnell said his team was really looking for a clean slate. Out to Denver we go, and City was actually the underdog in this one according to the sports books, mostly due to the rapid style of play. They put a lot of pressure on City early, and Roman Berkey really earned his paycheck in this one. He had multiple stops in the first half, and City would strike in the 57th minute in the second half. And another rapid buildup leads to a cross, and Rasmus Alm is going to put the biscuit in the basket. This one is currently 1-0 in the 82nd minute. It was a record-breaking season finale for the Battlehawks today in the Dome, but questions still remain as to whether they will be enough to get into the playoffs. More than 33,000 packed into the Battle Dome, and I'm not sure there was a single fan who left today disappointed. The Battlehawks would dig their way out of an early hole thanks to this pass from A.J. McCarron. He finds Jake Sutherland for the 5-yard touchdown. It's 25-20 at the half. In the second half, the Battlehawks offense would truly take flight. This time it's McCarron finding Hakeem Butler across the middle, and Butler would end the day. It's really a career day with him. 9 catches, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns. However, he may have actually been outdone by his teammate, Darius Shepard. Check out this absurd one-handed catch across the end zone. The Battlehawks would set an XFL single-game record for points on their way to the 53-28 win. And quarterback A.J. McCarron admitted it was a little weird trying to run up the score due to these XFL rules.
These crazy tiebreaker rules, I didn't make them. If I would have made them, I would have favored us a little more. So, listen, we did everything we could, and that's all we wanted, to come out and put some points up.
We definitely talked about it. I mean, it was no secret we had to put up points. So, I mean, we practiced during the week pretty hard. We knew what we had to do, so it was pretty cool.
Battlehawks need the Seattle Sea Dragons to lose tomorrow and a few other things to really break their way in order to make the playoffs. Maybe the only thing more complicated than the XFL's tiebreaker rules for the playoffs might be forecasting the weather. Luckily, I don't have to do that. That's what we've got you here for, Jim. What are we looking forward to?
So you did news and sports, and I've heard you've done weather before.
I have, but I have no interest in it tonight because it is way too cold out there.
It is, and I bet you're great at it. So right now we're looking at some freeze warnings for 1 a.m. till 9 a.m. west of the metro. Then in the metro, we have frost advisories, and they're widespread all the way into Illinois. So all of us, either near freezing or below, and widespread frost. We'll do that again tomorrow night. So keep those plants protected and keep them inside until we get to later this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll introduce some clouds, maybe a spot shower, temperatures back in the 60s, and a better chance of rain later Friday and into Saturday.
Yeah, okay, you're actually going to laugh at us when it gets a little chilly like this.
Yes.
We even put jackets on the dogs.
Oh, good.
Got to take care of the fur babies.
And I just wear my flip-flops.
Yep. He has them on right now. Yeah. That's all of our time for 5 on Your Side at 10. Saturday Night Live is next. Join us for Today in St. Louis tomorrow starting at 6 a.m. Have a great night.